Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Hellboy. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Alright, so very, I don't want to say specific, but very specific. So I like talking about it and describing or the reasoning behind why I'm doing what I'm doing, but I always say that I try to do current characters, you know, what people are watching, what they're doing, what movies are coming out, stuff like that. But sometimes you got characters like this that, you know, it's not going to happen, right? It's not right now because, you know, I love Hellboy. I've always loved Hellboy. But again, you know, well, let's do it out like this. I'm trying to think of a good pose because I want to show everything, you know. I kind of want to accent the right hand of doom and everything, you know. Anyway, some characters like this, you're not going to see a movie for quite a long time. So, you know, this is going to be my only opportunity to do it, and that's what I'm doing it. I've decided to like just do that. Exactly what I'm saying. I'm taking advantage of the fact that I do what I want, and so I'm drawing Hellboy now. So yeah, so you're not going to see a movie for a long time, so I just thought, let's just do it. Let's just make a character just for the fun of giving you new stuff to draw. Really, that's really what's coming down to, you know? Alright, sorry, I was working on details. I was doing exactly what I tell you not to do every single time. I was working on the details. So, let me try to get the pose down and then I'll work on the details. So, because a part of the problem is he's not real. You know, we're working on comic book stuff, and so I kind of need to try to make it real, so to speak, even though it's obviously not. Right, I'm trying to come up with a good action pose, like something that's not quite working with this leg. So let me redo it. But that's also why I tell you, always get your pose down first. Make sure you're happy, you got it where you want it, and then you can work on the details. Nope, still not it. I think what's bugging me is that it's got a certain look to it. Like, you know, he's got his little horned toes, you know, his little hooves, horned toes. I can't even think of the word hoof, sorry. I'm being silly. So I'm trying to capture that look. And that's kind of what I'm saying is, you know, get your pose down first. Then you can worry about the look of the hoof. There we go. That's what it is. I just don't have the leg looking right. But also, like I said, he's got a very specific look to him. So I wanted to capture all that with the specific detail, you know? But all I really have to go by are, you know, silly comic book stuff. And I hate to say that, not silly. I mean, it's obviously awesome. That's why I'm drawing it. But specific comic book details. There you go. How's that? that's honoring and appreciating it. But again, you know, Mignola's got a very, very unique style that I kind of want to make sure that even though I'm drawing it real, I kind of still want to do it as he does it, you know, because he's got a very, and what I mean by that, he's got a very specific, like he's got a super long neck, and with the trapezius, you know, so I just want to make sure I still capture that. But you know what's funny? I was talking to a friend of mine about this. Is Mignola is very much like, no, do it yourself. Do it how you draw. Draw how you draw. It's like, don't draw it like you think I'm drawing. You know, he's very big on you creating your style. You know, and so that's kind of also the downside with the movies, is that he's okay with it being changed up. He's okay with making it a little different from his own. And there's a part of me that's not okay with that. There's a part of me that's like, no, I want to see what you do. You know, there's a reason I fell in love with this style. That's also the nice give, I guess is the best word I'm trying to say. The best way we can kind of get away with getting a little artistic, a little creative with not being 100% like his, is because, you know, it is a very specific look that we can kind of get away with drawing a little less like his, you know? But also, to a point, there's only so much we can really do keep it looking like his, you know? Alright, oh, you know what I need to draw? Let me see if I can find a picture of his gun. That's what I'm really looking for. Alright, where is his gun? The Samaritan, there we go. You know what I'll also say is I'm very jealous. We'll talk about this a little bit. I'm very jealous of I almost said Adam Driver. Mythbusters. Adam Savage. Have you been watching his posts lately? He made him a real life Samaritan. Now, he has a real life Samaritan. Like he's talked about it. He shows that he's got a copy of the original and all that stuff. So A, yes, I'm already jealous about that. But B, you know, he's well into owning a few. So I've been jealous for quite a while. All right, I think that's going to be good. Oh, you know what? Let me find a few things here. No, I think that's good. I think I've got what I want for the edge. Because his fingers, we're going to get a little crazy. They're going to be doing like this. But because they are, you know, very specific right hand of doom fingers, we're going to kind of what's the word? Get artistic with it. There we go. There we go. Let's do that. Okay, awesome. So let's erase some of these sketch lines real quick. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to get rid of the sketch lines and keeping the confidence line. So as I was initially starting, the sketch lines were just lines I was throwing down, and they erased pretty fast, pretty easy. As I got more confident, I pressed harder, and those lines, they take a little bit more to erase. So luckily, as I'm erasing, I'm going to lose the sketchiness and keep the confidence. And that's how you're going to always draw. You know, draw with confidence. I think that's good right there. I can still see what I wanted to do. I've lost the sketch lines, and I can just follow the darker confidence line. So let's go with that. Let's do that. All right. Let's welcome everybody that skipped and get going. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. These, not a pencil. Why did I grab the pencil? I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly a fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that a fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased a majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see where we're going to go. So let me get this little bad boy, so I can put my hand on and start with the eyes. So I'm just going to do something like this, just to see if I've got them about right. And that looks about right to me. So I'm just going to draw his little, what do you call it? Open eyes, right? Because there's not really. Kind of play with it like that because he doesn't really have a retinas or any of that stuff, right? And now I'm just going to play around with the look of the design. So that's kind of the nice thing, is we can kind of play around with how we want him to look, because like I was talking about in the sketch, we're kind of going with you know, trying to make a comic character real, so to speak. Not completely, but maybe something like this. Now, that's going to be my real face, and now I'm going to build a monster face on top of it. So I'm going to draw his cheekbone in like this. I'll do another one over like this a little bit, just to kind of stress the gaunt feel of his face. So I'm going to draw, see his bottom lip. I'm going to do more of the goatee little, what do you call it? What is that? Soul patch. That's what it is. But I'm going to build on just a little bit of the hairs that he's got like this. Now I'm just kind of playing around with his look, so like that, just a little bit of lines, just to kind of stress that it's not a clean face, you know. All right, so I'm going to bring in more hairs on this side like this, and again, they're going to be little, going to be slight, just kind of accenting his jaw. And so now I'm going to come up and I'm going to play around with the horns, or the lack of horns. You know, he's kind of broken them off. So I'm doing that. And that'll kind of accent the edge. Oh, and also I'm going to thicken up the outer edge, because when I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. So I'm going to make sure that the outside kind of matches what this Sharpie's about to do. You don't have to if you're working with pencil. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Okay. So the top of his head, we're gonna just bring it in like this. And let me see. Sometimes he's got a little hair on top, sometimes he doesn't, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna thicken up this. Give him kind of an angrier brow, something like that. All right, let's see. Let's give him an ear. He's got a tiny little ear, so we're going to come in here and do something like that. Just give him some hairs off to the side like that. And I think I'm going to switch over to the big Sharpie now, because now the rest is going to be the rest of his look. And so I talked about this in the sketch, that he's got a very specific long neck, shoulder type kind of thing. So I like playing with that. So watch how thick this is. I'm gonna have to thicken some of that as well. Just gonna go like this down to his shoulders. That's his neck. That's how big that is, right? So the other one's gonna come down like this. So see how really insanely drastic his neck is, but again, I'm going for that style, so that's okay. I'm okay with that. All right, give him some little pork chop sideburns there. All right, so now again, Mignola's got a very what do you call it? Unique style that he's got cuts and lines in it, something like that. So I'm going to do stuff like that every now and then, just to kind of accent and kind of dirty up the look. Does that make sense? Just to kind of give it here. I'm going to thicken this up too, but see how thick that is? I like to make sure the whole thing kind of looks like that. Only to make it consistent. If you're working with pencil, you don't have to do this. I'm just showing you why, or what I'm doing. All right, awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw his pecs and build up his shoulders. Okay, so basically, shoulders are going to be huge like this. Another one over here like this. And let's draw like his, like I said, his trapezoid, right? What is that called? Trapezius. Like that, just to kind of accent that it's, big and bulky. And let's go ahead and draw his big old pecs. Again, and I'm going to accent with that strange Mignola, cuts and grooves. He's got stuff like that all over the place, and it's awesome. I mean, like I said, I love his style. I love the look that he's kind of come up with. His own unique inking technique. It's beautiful. So I'm going to have one hand over here holding the gun, so let's go ahead and do it. Let's just draw his bicep like this, coming down. This one's coming in here to the elbow. And draw his forearm. Something like that. And let me draw some of the detail. And so again, we kind of get away with a little bit of extra strangeness. So, I'm going to draw his hand holding his Samaritan, and I was talking about this in the sketch, is that the reason I'm doing this is because I don't know when we're ever going to see another Hellboy something. Because what I usually like to do is draw like current items, what people are watching or movies that are coming out, stuff like that. And what I was talking about is I don't know if we're ever going to see another Hellboy thing for quite a while, and that's unfortunate, but I figure let's go ahead and do it. Let's draw something while we can, because again, it's going to be a bit before we see something, so we might as well take advantage of doing it when we want. Okay, that's in front of the hand, or over the gun, sorry. Alright, so that means I'm going to draw the pistol out like that. Now, it kind of changed a little bit with my sketch, so let me alright, so that means I'm going to draw the back of it like this. I'm going to draw the top that, well, not the top, but the bottom. Let's see, and then the handle, or not the handle, the cylinder. It's going to be like this. there you go. It's not bad. Could be better? Sure. Does it work for what I want? 100%. Alright, so there we go. Something like that. And that's not right either, but that's okay. We're gonna just kind of play around with it. That'll work. That'll work. All right. So this hand, and it's the most important one, the right hand of doom. Let's get into that. So I'm gonna have his bicep like this. Let me define it a little bit so you see where we are while we're doing it like that. Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's do the little weird grooves. The Mignola grooves. All right. So right hand of doom. So here we go. So I'm going to curve it like this. That's the outer edge. It's going to come around like this. Curve back in because that's the outer part of the cylinder. The inner part of the cylinder. Like that. Let me add just a little bit of another line, kind of like this, coming through. Now, remember, or if you don't know, there's cracks and grooves and all kinds of cool stuff in it. So we're going to play around with that look too. Just letting you know. Come through like this. And I'm going to do, again, just like we did there, the other part of the cylinder. And this I'm going to clean up just a little bit. Okay. And again, just do like we did there. It's going to come over, come around. Close that off now that I know where that is. It's going to come down. Now, for the hand, he's got a very specific hand, so I'm going to kind of play around with what I can do here. So I've got the thumb curled up like this. There's the top of it. Coming in and doing that. This one. Going to be like this. All right, is that making sense? All right, so let's add what we did over there. Some curve to the cylinder. Now that I know I can see here, I can go ahead and finish it off, close it off there, and let's start to add some of the cool extras. So, it's got a very specific look to it. But like I said, it's also got a lot of cracks and crevices and breaks and bends and all kinds of cool stuff. So don't be afraid to just add a bunch of crazy things in here, because that's what it's all about, is adding the cracks and the breaks. Again, just to give it that rock look. Now the other cool thing is he uses a lot of blacks, so a lot of it disappears, and it helps with his style. So we're going to play around with a few things like that too when we do coloring. All right, so body down. So we're just going to draw his rib cage in like this. The side's coming down, and there's his stomach. Here, we'll do a little bit of bones, or not bones, but muscle with the smaller Sharpie. So we're not really going too crazy with the detail. but we are adding, you know, the rock, the look. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. All right. Okay, so I'm getting Sharpie everywhere. Now we're gonna use belt. So here's his pouch. Here's his pouch for his gun. So we're gonna do big old Samaritan holder like this. And again, it's empty, so we're just gonna do pretty much like that. Something hanging up in front like this. He's got a bunch of stuff that he carries for like what do you call it? His stuff he uses like he's got like a rosary. He's got jasmine, all kinds of things he carries to fight off the beasties, the bad guys, you know. So that's actually kind of cool that all this stuff is actually used. It's not just a cool item or a cool extra what do you call it, pouch. Like I've seen, what was the one, I can't even think of it right now, where he had to, you know, pull out a talisman that it was given to him by some priest of something that had the toe of, I can't remember what. You know, it's just some of the cool stuff he carries just to be safe and to fight the bad guys. Alright. Awesome. Okay, now we're just going to draw shorts. He does have some other stuff, like I said, a rosary, a cross, stuff like that, but that stuff's a little tiny, so we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to go ahead and keep going with the shorts. Kind of like this. Something like that. Let's add some detail there. Again, some creases and folds. We're going to add a little seamed edge like that, just to give it, you know, a little bit of something. Oops, I drew through the gun there. All right, cool. Okay, so now we're going to draw his big old demon legs. He's got big old knobby knees too, so we're going to come in here and do big old knees just to kind of accent that look, you know? Then his demon boots, so to speak. And then it's going to be an open toe for his hoof. Sorry, I like saying hoof to be silly, before anybody tries to correct me. You're looking at it from the front on this one. Let's do this one, then we'll add all the detail. So this one's coming down. This big old knobby knee again. Like that. Back of his leg. Again to his boot. That'll work. Okay. I was trying to see if I should do both. It was like, let's just leave it like that. Okay, so again, I'm gonna do a little bit of muscular detail there. Okay. Separate that hoof. Same thing here. Let's add a little bit of muscularity to his old strange Hellboy leg. And again, that's what I was talking about in there, is we kind of can get away with drawing a little extra stuff like that because, you know, no one's going to say, well, that's not how a demon looks. This is how we draw, right? Okay. There you go. So I'd say we take care of the rest with color. So that is how I draw Hellboy. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.